What's up, guys? I didn't really make a proper introduction video to my new direction that I want to go, but something happened yesterday that I really want to talk about. And if you see the symbol on my head, then you probably know what I'm about to talk about. And just stick around because I'm looking at this from an objective angle. Of course, I'm a little biased, so you have that, but so the Saints were in the NFC Championship game against the Los Angeles Rams, and we lost. We lost due to many different reasons, honestly. But the biggest reason of all is there was a no call, two different flags, one for helmet to helmet, and one for pass interference. Now, that totally changed the game, honestly. Would have been a first down within 7 yards, 5 yards, something like that. We'd still have first and goal, run the ball, kick a field goal, score a touchdown. Any of those, if I would really like to see the statistics of what the win probability was if we got that flag call. It was probably a lot higher. But you can't really cry over spilled milk too much. And I'm sure all the talking heads are going off about it. Deservedly so. It's a storyline that's going to get a lot of views and clicks and watches and ratings. So, of course, it's going to be talked about. But it just sucks from my perspective as a Saints fan because I feel like the window is closing on. I hate to be so negative about it, but I just feel like it's closing. I mean, Drew Brees just turned 40. His contract comes up next year. We have all these young guys that we drafted where we were able to get out of all these. For a while, we were signing these big contracts, and we were getting screwed because we were committing all this money, even though Mickey Loomis is like a wizard with math. I would really love to work under him just to see how he works. But we kind of screwed ourselves, like with the Jairus Byrd signing, the Junior Galette signing, and how he ended up panning out for us. Kobe Fleener gave him too much money, and we still do it sometimes. Like with Kurt Coleman, we just gave him way too much money, and he don't even really play. But this team was really special this year, and there's a lot of parallels that Saints Twitter and everyone like to kind of compare it to with the Super Bowl season. But the end result wasn't the same. You can blame it on a lot of things. The big things to blame to me are kicking 2 field goals to begin instead of scoring touchdowns, especially on the Demario Davis interception when we were in enemy territory. That was the biggest takeaway there. If we score 7 points there, we'd be up 10 zip. Nothing. The Superdome would be going crazy. And deservedly so, the fans were going crazy pretty much all night anyways. I feel like they brought a little bit more energy, but I wasn't there, so I can't complain in the first quarter. But they came and they were ready. Another thing you can really kind of point blame to is the interception that Drew Brees threw in overtime. That was massive. That was big. The pressure got to him, which the pressure was pretty good all night. Aaron Donald was killing Andrews Pete with swim moves all the damn day. And Drew Brees just chunked it up high in Michael Thomas's direction, hoping something would happen, but nope. And I feel like even if we don't score a touchdown or a field goal on that drive, we might have another chance because we could punt the ball, have them in better field position than what they were, and just didn't give the defense any help there. I mean, of course, the defense could have made a play, but it's just too hard to stop a team like the Rams from getting any yardage, and their kicker can just kick a freaking 57-yard field goal like it's a 30-yarder. It just sucks because next year might be the last year that we have a chance to win the Super Bowl. And I hate to say that. I hate to sound negative, but that's just my thoughts right now. And that's why that penalty bothers me so much. because that honestly screwed up the chance to get Drew Brees his second ring. It screwed up the chance to get the Saints their second ring, and it just sent a whole season backwards. It just sucks, man. And I really hate to be the one to get on here and complain about the referees and all that because they have a tough job and calls get missed. But that was a really big call. Now, the implications of this that could happen, and I'm probably not a fan of it, honestly, if I'm being completely and totally honest, because it's just going to slow down the game even more than what it already is and just skew it more towards offensive sides even more. Okay, so I bet they're having some kind of conversation of having New York like override play on the field and say, oh, that was an obvious flag and should be flagged. Of course, I would love it in the situation given, but it's probably going to screw up the game a bit because it's really hard to play football 100% fair. It's really hard because calls get missed all the time. Every day, every game. There's no perfect referee outing. But that call was so obvious. Like, you had 3 people sitting there looking at it. I don't see how it doesn't get called. I know Sean McVay said it was a bang-bang play. If it was really a bang-bang play, I could understand it. Like, if it was sketchy, then maybe, yeah. But that was not sketchy. But I hate to be the guy saying, oh, we would have won if the refs gave us this flag. But it's true. And it was a bad time. But we had other opportunities to win this game. It's football. You have opportunities to win. And we squandered them. It just sucks because the Saints, they find these ways to lose in playoff games that is just ridiculous. For one, this is about to hurt saying all these, but we had Beastquake of the year after the Super Bowl, stupid Marshawn Lynch. We had that other Seattle game don't count because they destroyed us. That one game where Marcus Colston threw the backwards pass or whatever he did. The San Francisco 49ers game in 2012, I think it was. That one sucked. Alex Smith and Vernon Davis. That one sucked, having them drive it on us because I really thought we could have went to Super Bowl that year, but that was a divisional round, so it doesn't hurt as much as this one. You had the meaningless miracle, as I like to call it, that happened last year. That one sucked because I really thought we were going to the NFC Championship game last year. Didn't happen. But we were actually in that championship game this year and lost in another screwy way fashion. It kind of sucks. And I know there's other ones that aren't that screwy. It's just the defense playing like crap. But this year the defense was really good. I had high confidence in them after seeing them this season. And I hope they continue to build on that. Demario Davis was huge this season. Alex Anzalone, he stayed healthy, played really good. Cam Jordan, Sheldon Rankins, great play this year. Hopefully Marcus Davenport can progress next season. We need better play in the secondary. Lattimore had kind of a down year, but he played still really good. Just not up to what he played last year. But less people were throwing at him, to be fair. And they were picking on P.J. Williams and Eli Apple. But those two play with confidence, and I liked that from them this year. Even though they were the weakest link on the defense, they played with confidence and made some plays. So, big ups to them. I wish our safety play was a little bit better. That could be nice. Von Bell, he's okay. He's good sometimes. He makes some plays here and there, but I didn't really see Marcus Williams making any plays like he was last year. But hopefully they can figure things out. And I do have confidence in that defense. I hope they can build upon this year. The offense started off great. Offensive line was playing amazing. Then we had injuries. Teron Armstead got hurt. Larry Warford dealt with some injuries, but he really never missed some time. Same with Max Unger. Andrews Pete, obviously, he broke his hand. Props to him for playing through that and played a terrible game against the Eagles, but It didn't matter because Michael Thomas, speaking of Michael Thomas, he was a beast this year. So good. So good. Probably the best player on the team, if I'm being completely honest. He just played so good this year. Of course, there were some games where he got doubled and tripled and bracketed in coverage, but so he couldn't do anything. And that's where our offense has to find someone else to go to. We really need a tight end. I don't know how we're going to acquire anybody. We have no draft picks hardly. We need a second wide receiver. Ted Ginn's serviceable. And Traquan Smith, I don't know about him yet. Maybe he could develop, but we need weapons outside of Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. I wonder what's going to happen with Mark Ingram. He'll probably come back because I don't really see him getting a huge market out there. And I know he loves the Saints. I love Mark Ingram. I love him. I've loved him since we drafted him. Unpopular opinion and a hot take, but I've loved him since we drafted him, and I wanted him that night, and we got him, and I was so happy. It's just a lot to process, honestly, and I could ramble on this for another 20 minutes, but I hope they can bounce back next season. I really want to see Drew get that second ring, but it's Who Dat for life. That's what it's about. Thanks for listening to me ramble for 12 minutes. And I'm going to sign off. Videos coming in the future. Introduction video of what I want this to be coming sometime. I'm not consistent. Everyone knows this. But this felt good to get this off my chest because this is how I felt. And I didn't really want to talk about it with anybody. Just wanted to put my thoughts out there. So thanks and peace.